Alright, today we're going to do a video on the Year 11 General Assignment. Just zoom in a little more on this. Alright, so we're going to be purchasing a car. Alright, so topic 1, investment and borrowing. You've been doing research into... let's put some sort of display mode on this. Nah, let's not bother. Alright, so you've been doing work on investment and borrowing, and we're going to be looking at buying a car. So there's a type of loan, but there are different options to how you can get this. So a friend decided to buy a car. Their family are insisting it's a quality car with a value of between 14,000 and 16,000. Now I'm going to use a slightly larger value, which you can't use in your assignment. So just try to stick to these numbers because these numbers dictate the other numbers that the assignment is set up around. Okay, so there's a lot of requirements here. If you change one thing, you need to change a lot of things. So try to stick in terms of these conditions. All right. They're prepared to help with a family loan, which would be option 2. Your friend already has 2,500 set towards purchasing a car and will have 330 a month to either use to save or use for repayments. Alright, so you've been studying general maths, so you know something about this. You've been asked to revise. So that's what you'll be doing. You'll be doing calculations and you'll be giving them advice about the options that they have towards this. Alright, so the options are, you need to do all of these and you need to draw up a comparison to which one is going to be the best. Okay, option 1 is a lease option. They take out a financial lease of $330 a month for 5 years to purchase the car and the car at the end of the lease. So you're borrowing the car and then you decide to lease a car at the end. When you lease a car after when you buy a car after the lease term, you need to pay 10% of that, of the new car price. Okay. All right. Option 2, take out a family loan. So the conditions are you'll pay its deposit and borrow the balance of the car's price at 6% per annum, flat rate, for 4 years, making weekly repayments. All right. Option 3, saving up to purchase the car. Investor savings for $250 in a bonus saver account, returning 6% per annum, compounding monthly. All right. Assume your friend deposits the $330 each month into the account, in this account. All right. The last one is using a car loan repayment. So you're looking at the private market, see what's available for you. Okay, so we're going to do a few of these. All right, so in my class, I asked students to come up with a narrative. I've gone and made a little narrative to kind of look at some options. As I said, I've squeaked the numbers a little bit for mine. Okay, so Paddy has recently graduated with a science degree and started a job at a private research company. He has an old 80s Skyline which has poor performance. He can wait no longer than 6 months to buy a car and wishes to purchase a 1998 Toyota Celica at $18,500. Okay, considerations. All right, we're going to leave these for later. So something to consider near the end of the assignment when you're doing other things you might need to consider. Although you may look up these values and include them in your calculations early on if you wish. All right. Okay, so let's look at how we do the options. All right, the financial lease, this one's pretty simple, and it's going to be very samely for everyone. The only difference is people have different car prices, so you have a different cost of the residual. But if you're paying 330 a month for 5 years, well, we're timesing that by 12. Oopsies, times by 12. And we're timesing that by, 12 months in a year for 5 years. Okay, pull out a calculator, let's work out what that is. All right, bring this aside. All right, so it's 330, oopsies, numlock, 330 times 12 times 5. All right, so 19,800. Now, that's just a lease. Then I have to pay an extra 10% of this. So that would be 10% off. Oops, that's not used bold. Okay, the residual costs. 10% of 18,500, which would be 1,850. Okay. So, all right. So the total, just for those two, without considering on-road costs or any insurance or anything like that, we can add those two up. All right, 19,800 plus 1,850 equals. All right, I'm gonna pull my calculator out and make sure I'm getting my stuff right. All right, so let's add with that. All right, 21,650. All right, 21,650. All right, so okay, that's the first option. So that's going to look very samely, except for that last little bit, and adding them up will look the same for most assignments. Okay, so family loan, now this is also 6% simple, flat rate, so not compounding. Okay, now we've used our calculator a lot for this sort of stuff, particularly financial one. I'm going to show you another way because there's actually most of the car loans are not compounded interest. They're flat interest, like this is. I'll show you a trick and how to do this. So you start off by using your interest calculator. So interest earned is P times by little I. Oops, I want little I. I don't want italics, I want undo. See, there we go. P times I times N. Okay. All right. So, okay, so we would have 8. Now, we're going to pay the full deposit. That was part of it. So actually, your let's just bring that aside for a minute. Okay, so your P, how much you're actually taking out, will be 18,000. Yep, 18,500 minus the 250 deposit. 2,500 deposit. So I'm going to borrow from relatives $16,000. So I'm paying that full deposit. There we go. Okay, so my I is going to be 16,000 times, okay, little I, 6%, times by, okay, 4 years. All right, so work that out. Times 0.06 times 4. Okay, so now, this is not actually the interest you're paying. I'll explain in a moment, but there's a way to get there. All right, so, 400. Okay, so 40, brother. Okay, so I'm going to halve this number. Why? Well, because you are not paying interest on $16,000. You are paying interest on $16,000 once, and then it's decreasing because you're repaying the loan. So, but you're repaying in a very orderly schedule. All right, there's no compounding. So the way to think about this is you really, and you could have started at the beginning, you're really paying on average interest on 8,000 because on average you have between, at the start of the loan, you have 16,000 you have to pay. At the end of the loan, you have zero. The average of that is 8,000. So you're actually paying interest on 8,000. So I could have done this calculation with 8,000, and that would work too. I wouldn't have to halve it because I already halved it at the start. So if I halve this, let's get my numbers right. Okay, divide by 2. Okay, and 20. All right, 4 years, rather. Yes, interest is charged on the average. That's why. All right. So then that's what you're going to actually what you're going to repay. So the full repayment is going to be the principal plus interest, which is the number we just worked out. Okay, that would be 16,000 plus 3,840, which is 19,840. Boom skis. Okay, put a dollar sign. We're done. All right. So let's just compare those two while we're at it, because we're talking about how much we have to pay in total. Yeah, this option is actually a little bit better by a couple $1,000 actually. Except for you lose your in the first case when you're leasing, it didn't say anything about having to use your deposit. So that $2,500, you could just keep that around and do whatever you like with it. Whereas in this case, you have to pay that deposit to your family. Okay, so now we're not quite done yet. It want to repay this weekly. Okay, weekly repayments. All right, so weekly repayments. Okay, so how many weeks? Well, 52 weeks in a year. So N will be 4 years times 52. Okay, what's that? 208. So that many repayments. And then what does that mean? All right, so we'd have. Where's my dollar sign? Lose you. Okay, 19,840 divided by 8 payments. Okay, take that value, let's divide it by 208. Oopsies. Oopsies. All right, $95, and I'm going to round up because I need to repay stuff. So 95 and 39 cents. All right. Oopsies, I forgot my numbers. 38, 39 cents. Okay. So that's what you're going to be repaying, and that is well under the. Okay, there's a benefit. Okay, another benefit was get back into. Oops. Yeah, the 330 was what they have. I didn't actually put in these notes, but 330 was the maximum weekly, and that's well underneath that, so that you can live a bit comfortably on that and not have to make substantial repayments. And I believe they're actually getting the car soon as well, whereas that was the first one was 5 years. Yep. Yep. So that seems like a better option all round. Um, Except for they have to lose all that initial investment. All right. Option three. Okay. So we're going to put it into a bank account. Now, 6% in a savings account is actually very high in this day and age, but we'll give it a crack anyway. So now this one's compounded monthly. I should say compounding. So we can actually use our graphics calculator application for this. All right, so let's go do that. All right, so in that case, we'll have n is equal to. All right, so we're doing this monthly because we're actually putting monthly payments in there. So, all right. Actually, n is what we're solving for. My apologies. Because we know what we want to get. We want to be able to repay it, all of it. All right, so let's have a look at our calculator and just see what numbers we need to find. All right. Oops, finance. All right, let's go into here and crack some numbers out. Let's delete that because we don't know what that one is. Interest rate, we do. So I percentage. I percentage equals 6%. So stick that in. What else do we need? Okay. Present value. So remember you put that one in as a negative in this calculate application. All right, so we put in neg 2500. All right, 2500. All right, whoops, I put that in the wrong thing. X6. All right, move that across. 2500.0. Okay. Now, if you're entering this in the PMT, you're putting in your savings. That's the 330 number. No, it doesn't like that. Sorry. Go to. I need to make sure that that's the negative sign. There we go. All right. So if you're saving, you put that in as a negative as well. Future value, you put that in as a positive. We want to buy the whole car with this, so 18,500. And we're doing this monthly. So I think that's all the numbers we need. So PMT equals neg future value 18,500. All right. And what else do we have? Equals 12 because we're doing this monthly. All right, so let's just find out what that does. Apps, finance, we're solving for a capital N. Whoopsies. Nope. No, you got to quit first. My bad. Quit. All right, now go into that. Now go into finance. Now go to N. Go get back to that main menu. All right, so that is approximately, if you round up, that would require 43. So N is equal to 43 periods. The period, remember, capital N is the number of periods, like number of compounding periods or payment periods or whatever it happens to be. That's months in this particular question. That's how we set it up. That's because of the 12. All right. And in that case, that we can find that. So 43 divided by 12. Okay. It's very close to 42. Basically, it's we've got everything. If you just ground up a little bit more change, you'd have it. And 42, I'm just going to say 43 to round up because you don't have it in 42 periods. You will have it in 43. All right. So 43 divided by 12. Okay. So we got 3.8. So I'm going to write. So that's going to be time 3 years. And I'm going to delete the 3. So minus 3. Times that back by 12. 3 years and exactly 7 months. Yeah, because I rounded up to the nearest month, didn't I? Yeah. So 3.5 years, and you basically have it. 3 years, 7 months, you do have it. Now that is for my particular narrative, that is unacceptable because my skyline isn't going to last for another 6 months, let alone 3.5. So yeah, that's going to take too long. That's nice because I pay. That's the cheapest option. I'm not paying any interest, and chances are my dream car might get a little bit cheaper if I find a better option. But yeah, yeah. But there you go. All right, so I hope that gives you a bit of a head start with some of the mathematics. Option 4 is similar to option 2, but you do have to go to some websites. Have a look at the links that are on the assignment and some other ones that I'll give you on Sector, and take a look at that. And I'm going to leave that one up to your discretion to try. I suggest you can try using Carloon, go have a look at some Carloon calculators. That gives you a bit more freedom to change up things like the number of years, the size of the deposit, and you can come up with different options with option 4 as well. All right, so I'm going to leave it here for this video, guys. I'll catch you next time.